They don't flash designer bags, but they command boardrooms and billion-dollar empires in silence. From steel titans to tech heroines, these are 15 Indian women whose fortunes shift global markets and whose stories threaten everything we think we know about power, legacy, and gender. Brace yourself. The top 3 will shock you. At number 15 is someone who proves Bollywood stardom can be just the beginning of an empire, Juhi Chawla. She may have dazzled audiences with her smile on screen, but off-screen, she's built serious wealth that puts her among India's richest women. Juhi co-founded Dreams Unlimited, the production house that evolved into Shah Rukh Khan's powerhouse Red Chillies Entertainment, giving her a stake in films that turned into box office gold. But her boldest move came when she and her husband invested in cricket. Together with Shah Rukh, she became co-owner of the Kolkata Knight Riders, an Indian Premier League franchise now valued at over $1 billion. Imagine your favorite actress also being part of one of the most valuable sports teams in Asia. That's Juhi's reality. Her investments don't stop at cinema and cricket. Juhi holds valuable real estate and business stakes that keep her fortune climbing. And she isn't just about money. She's a passionate environmentalist, filing legal petitions against harmful technologies and championing causes to protect India's green spaces. Wealth and advocacy wrapped in elegance. While many 90s stars faded, Juhi transitioned from leading lady to leading investor. Today, she embodies what it means to leverage fame into generational wealth. Her life is a cocktail of glitzy premieres, IPL after-parties, and eco-campaigns that actually move policy. And just when you think an actress turned team owner is impressive, wait until you meet the Indian farmer heiress whose fortune has been curing diseases while multiplying into billions. At number 14, Mahima Datla. Mahima is the managing director of Biological E, one of India's oldest and most successful pharmaceutical companies. Her net worth? Well into the billions, thanks to life-saving vaccines that reach children across the globe. Mahima wasn't just handed the keys to a family business, she transformed it. Under her leadership, Biological E scaled up vaccine production to unprecedented levels, even partnering with global giants during the pandemic. Imagine running a company where a single product rollout doesn't just earn profits, it saves millions of lives. That's the kind of weight Mahima carries every day. Her wealth places her among the few Indian women billionaires who combine generational inheritance with true innovation. Behind the polished boardroom presence lies a sharp strategist who made bold calls that turned Biological E into a household name across public health sectors in Asia, Africa, and beyond. Of course, her lifestyle mirrors her success. Think high-powered conferences in Geneva, global jet-setting to negotiate billion-dollar contracts, and a polished elegance that screams understated power. Unlike flashy celebrities, Mahima's aura is all about quiet influence, building an empire without flaunting it. While most of us worry about flu shots, Mahima is busy supplying them to entire nations. Her story proves that health is wealth, literally. And if you thought vaccines were profitable, wait until you see the Godrej heiress whose billions are tied to soap, steel, and sky-high real estate. Next up is Smita V. Krishna, the quiet heiress of one of India's most iconic business dynasties, the Godrej family. If the name rings a bell, it should. Godrej is stamped on everything from soaps in your bathroom to the locks on your front door. And Smita's slice of this empire makes her one of India's richest women. Her personal fortune, over $2.5 billion, and that's just her cut of a family pie worth more than $11 billion. Smita isn't the type to post diamond bags on Instagram, but her influence is unmistakable. She holds major stakes in the family trusts that control Godrej's sprawling businesses: consumer goods, agriculture, engineering, and real estate. Translation: when Smita makes a decision, entire industries shift. Imagine waking up knowing that your vote in a boardroom could ripple through millions of households. And don't think her billions mean detachment. Smita's deep involvement in conservation and education shows she's invested in more than just profits. She's helped preserve Mumbai's green spaces and supported schools that educate thousands. But make no mistake, she also enjoys the perks of billionaire life. We're talking luxury homes, a glittering jewelry collection, and the kind of art acquisitions where she can casually outbid anyone at an auction just because she likes the canvas. While most of us worry about monthly rent, Smita Krishna Godrej lives in a world where her investments and philanthropy casually decide the fate of industries. But if you think being an heiress is impressive, wait until you meet the woman who built her billion-dollar legacy from scratch in India's beauty industry. At number 12 is the woman who made lipstick a billion-dollar business, Falguni Nayar, founder and CEO of Nykaa. Once a high-powered investment banker at Kotak Mahindra, Falguni swapped boardroom suits for beauty aisles and built India's biggest online cosmetics empire from scratch. Today, her personal net worth sits comfortably in the billions, making her one of the richest self-made women in the country. What makes her story jaw-dropping is the timeline. Falguni launched Nykaa at the age of 49, when most people are thinking about retirement plans. Instead, she rolled out a digital-first platform that brought global beauty brands to India's fingertips. Fast forward, and Nykaa went public in 2021 with a blockbuster IPO that instantly minted Falguni as India's richest self-made female billionaire. Imagine building a unicorn in less than a decade. That's the power of her vision. And yes, her lifestyle reflects the empire she's built. From luxury offices in Mumbai to networking with the world's top beauty moguls in Paris and New York, Falguni operates at a level most entrepreneurs can only dream of. Yet she's famously disciplined, known for her no-nonsense approach and her refusal to flaunt wealth. Her luxury is influence, the kind that decides what India buys next. While the rest of us debate which shade of lipstick to splurge on, Falguni Nayar is selling millions of them, turning everyday beauty habits into a billion-dollar fortune. But if beauty can build an empire, wait until you meet the woman whose billions flow from email servers and software powering businesses across the globe. At number 11 is Radha Vembu, the billionaire who probably touched your life today without you even realizing it. She's the co-owner of Zoho Corporation, the Indian tech company behind cloud software used by over 100 million people worldwide. From customer management to emails, if you've worked in an office, chances are Zoho was working behind the scenes, and Radha's fortune flows from it. Her personal net worth is estimated at over $4 billion, making her India's richest self-made woman. Unlike many on this list, Radha didn't step into inherited empires. She studied engineering at IIT Madras and joined her brother Radha Vembu in growing Zoho from a small startup into a global SaaS powerhouse. Today, the company competes with giants like Microsoft and Salesforce, and Radha controls a significant stake that cements her billionaire status. But what makes her unique is her lifestyle, or rather, the lack of one you can see. Radha is famously private, shunning the spotlight in an industry where billionaires flaunt yachts and penthouses. She keeps a low profile, is rarely photographed, and lets her company's impact do the talking. In a world obsessed with loud success, Radha's quiet billions stand out as almost rebellious. While the rest of us are busy sending emails and managing spreadsheets, Radha Vembu earns every time a Zoho subscription renews. She proves that not all billionaires wear luxury labels. Some quietly rewrite the future of technology. And if software sounds too quiet, wait until you meet the woman who shook up Indian biotech and built a pharmaceutical empire from the ground up. Breaking into the top 10 is Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, the woman who proved India could dominate biotech. She's the founder of Biocon Limited, a pharmaceutical giant that grew from a rented garage in Bengaluru into a multi-billion-dollar company. Her net worth hovers around $3 billion, but her impact, priceless. Kiran's story isn't one of inheritance, it's pure grit. In the late 1970s, she faced rejection after rejection because she was a woman in a male-dominated industry. Banks refused to fund her, investors doubted her, and even employees hesitated to work for her fledgling company. But Kiran turned that skepticism into fuel, building Biocon into a global powerhouse producing insulin, cancer drugs, and affordable biosimilars that save lives across continents. Her billions come not only from Biocon's success, but also from her strategic stakes and leadership roles in healthcare ventures. She's been hailed as India's biotech queen and repeatedly appears on lists of the world's most powerful women. Beyond boardrooms, Kiran invests heavily in philanthropy. Her foundation channels millions into healthcare, education, and innovation hubs, cementing her reputation as a visionary leader with both profit and purpose. Kiran loves to keep things refined but understated. Think elegant Bengaluru estates, world-class art collections, and a circle of influence that spans from Davos to Silicon Valley. While most people worry about rising medical bills, Kiran is out here reshaping global healthcare and turning those breakthroughs into billions. And if medicines can build billionaires, just wait until you see the tech heiress whose empire keeps the digital world running. At number 9 is Roshni Nadar Malhotra, the billionaire heiress who runs one of India's biggest tech empires. With a fortune of over $7 billion, she holds the title of India's first woman to chair a listed IT company, HCL Technologies. Born into privilege as the daughter of HCL founder Shiv Nadar, Roshni could have chosen the quiet life. Instead, she stepped into the hot seat and steered HCL into a global powerhouse with over 225,000 employees across 60 countries. Her signature, expanding into high-value services that keep Fortune 500 clients hooked. And while you're busy deciding which app to download, Roshni is pulling the strings behind the systems that keep the world's biggest corporations online. That's not just power, it's invisible dominance. But boardrooms aren't her only arena. Through the Shiv Nadar Foundation, she pours millions into education and rural development, reshaping lives far from the skyscrapers where her company signs billion-dollar contracts. She's also a passionate conservationist, championing causes that protect India's wildlife and ecosystems. Her world is a blend of understated class and towering influence, private estates, global summits, and a seat at the table wherever wealth and power intersect. Roshni doesn't need to shout her success. It's written in every billion-dollar deal HCL closes. And if software runs the world, the next fortune is literally powering every fan, switch, and light in your home. At number 8, we have Renuka Jagtiani, the powerhouse behind Dubai's Landmark Group. With an estimated fortune of over $4 billion, she's proof that Indian women are shaping empires far beyond India's borders. Renuka's rise wasn't overnight. She joined Landmark back in 1993, starting as a key strategist alongside her late husband, Mickey Jagtiani. After his passing, she didn't just hold the fort, she expanded it, steering the company into new sectors and geographies. Today, Landmark Group owns more than 2,200 outlets across the Middle East, Africa, and India, with brands spanning fashion, electronics, home retail, and hospitality. Names like Splash, Max, and Baby Shop, all part of her empire. Her billions stem not only from Landmark's massive retail presence, but also from real estate and strategic global investments. Think mega malls, luxury hotels, and an expanding e-commerce portfolio that ensures the group stays relevant in a digital-first world. And yes, Renuka's lifestyle reflects her empire. Private jets for international board meetings, homes across Dubai and London, and appearances at the world's most exclusive gatherings are all part of her playbook. But she's also known for philanthropy, especially in education and healthcare, where she channels millions toward building schools and hospitals. Renuka Jagtiani isn't just a CEO, she's a retail queen whose decisions ripple across continents. And while retail can buy you fashion and luxury, our next woman made her billions through medicine cabinets and hospitals, proving that health truly pays. Sliding into number 7 is Vinod Rai Gupta, the matriarch who turned switches and wires into a multi-billion-dollar fortune. With $3.5 billion to her name, she leads Havells India, the company that powers homes and industries across the nation. Vinod inherited her stake after the passing of her husband, Smita Rai Gupta, who founded Havells. But far from being a passive shareholder, she became the backbone of the company's expansion. Under her family's leadership, Havells has grown into a household name, producing everything from fans and LED lighting to air conditioners and kitchen appliances. In a country where every home needs power, Vinod's fortune is literally wired into India's daily life. Her wealth skyrocketed when Havells acquired Lloyd Consumer, a move that catapulted the group into the big leagues of electronics and home appliances. Today, Havells has a global footprint, exporting to more than 50 countries and earning billions in revenue each year. Lifestyle-wise, Vinod lives with the quiet sophistication of old money elegance. She owns prime real estate in Delhi, enjoys a network of luxury properties, and maintains influence in both business and philanthropic circles. Yet, she avoids the spotlight, allowing her son, Anil Rai Gupta, to handle day-to-day operations, while she remains a steady guiding force. While most of us flip a switch without a second thought, Vinod Rai Gupta has turned that simple act into a billion-dollar empire. And if electricity powers nations, wait until you meet the woman whose fortune comes from pharmaceuticals that save them. At number 6 is Leena Tewari, the billionaire chairperson of USV Private Limited, a pharmaceutical company best known for its expertise in diabetes and cardiovascular drugs. At nearly $3.9 billion in net worth, she holds her place among India's financial elite, a portrait of composed wealth and understated might. USV wasn't built overnight, nor was it luck. Founded by her grandfather, the company has grown under Leena's stewardship into a modern pharmaceutical force. It supplies affordable generic medicines across India and exports to more than 75 countries. Products like metformin, statins, and biosimilars have turned USV into a global player, ensuring that Leena's fortune rises with every prescription filled. Unlike the flashy entrepreneurs who dominate headlines, Leena embodies quiet elegance. She avoids the limelight, allowing her husband, Prashant Tewari, to manage daily operations while she focuses on strategy and long-term vision. But when she steps forward, it's usually for impact, funding education projects, supporting rural healthcare, or celebrating milestones that highlight USV's legacy of trust. Her personal life reflects both wealth and refinement. In 2025, she made waves with one of Mumbai's most expensive real estate deals, purchasing twin Worli duplexes for over 700 crore rupees. Yet even in luxury, her approach feels deliberate, more a statement of permanence than a splash of vanity. Leena Tewari's story is about compounding, of money, medicine, and meaning. But the next woman said beauty goes public, turning checkout carts into stock charts. At number 5 is Divya Gokulnath, the woman who turned classrooms into billion-dollar boardrooms. A former teacher who once stood in front of a blackboard, Divya co-founded Byju's, India's largest edtech company, alongside her husband, Baiju Ravayendran. What began as small group lessons exploded into a global learning platform used by millions of students across the world. Her personal net worth soared into the billions during Byju's meteoric rise, making her one of the youngest self-made female billionaires in India. But her story isn't just about valuation charts. Divya represents resilience in an industry under constant scrutiny. She balances boardroom battles with motherhood, often teaching her own children while steering the future of education for millions. Imagine building a company where every download, every subscription changes how kids learn. That's Divya's daily reality. Her life reflects the paradox of modern billionaires: low-key elegance, global influence, and the power to redefine entire industries. While most of us worry about exam stress, Divya is busy rewriting the textbook on what education can be. And if EdTech is impressive, just wait until you meet the woman who engineered an industrial empire and reshaped India's philanthropic landscape. At number 4 is Anu Aga, the business matriarch who turned grief into greatness. After losing her husband in 1996, she took the reins of Thermax Limited, an energy and environment solutions giant. Many doubted she could lead, but Anu silenced critics by transforming Thermax into a global powerhouse. Her leadership multiplied the company's value and her fortune, placing her comfortably among India's billionaires. Yet, what makes her remarkable isn't just money, it's purpose. After stepping down, Anu dedicated herself to philanthropy, focusing on education and social equity. She was even nominated to India's Rajya Sabha, proving her influence extends beyond boardrooms into policy and people's lives. Her fortune, over $1 billion, is tied to sustainable industry and heartfelt giving, a rare balance of steel and soul. While industrial giants often chase only profit, Anu turned her empire into a platform for progress. And just when you think energy and engineering are the pinnacle of power, the next woman shows how tractors can build a fortune that feeds nations. At number 3 is Mallika Srinivasan, the tractor queen of India. As chairperson and CEO of TAFE, Tractors and Farm Equipment Limited, she leads the world's third-largest tractor manufacturer. Her net worth crosses $2 billion, powered by machines that plow fields across Asia, Africa, and beyond. Every harvest, every season carries her signature of influence. Mallika didn't just inherit an industrial name, she expanded it with vision. Under her, TAFE became a global player, acquiring international brands and reshaping farming with technology. Her leadership ensures that millions of farmers move from survival to prosperity. But her wealth is more than steel and soil. Mallika invests deeply in education, healthcare, and rural development, ensuring the communities her tractors serve also thrive. Known for elegance without excess, she embodies a rare mix of tradition and innovation. While most billionaires chase urban skylines, Mallika Srinivasan built her fortune from the ground up, literally. And now, brace yourself, because number 2 is a woman who turned a stock market genius into billions that moved Dalal Street itself. At number 2 is Rekha Jhunjhunwala, the woman who inherited not just a fortune, but an entire legacy of investing genius. When her husband, the legendary stock market bull Rekha Jhunjhunwala, passed away in 2022, many wondered what would become of his empire. The answer? Rekha stepped up and proved that the Warren Buffett of India left his portfolio in steady hands. Her net worth today hovers around $8 billion, most of it tied to stakes in India's biggest companies: Titan, Tata Motors, Canara Bank, Fortis Healthcare, and many more. Every move in her portfolio makes headlines because when Rekha buys, the market listens. She isn't just living off her late husband's brilliance. She's managing and growing the fortune with strategic choices that keep the Jhunjhunwala name dominant in Dalal Street. And of course, her lifestyle mirrors billionaire status. She owns sprawling properties in Mumbai, including the iconic Jhunjhunwala residence at Malabar Hill, and her circle of influence includes the titans of business, politics, and entertainment. Her life is a blend of understated class and undeniable power. She doesn't flaunt, but she doesn't have to. Her presence alone signals wealth and authority. Rekha Jhunjhunwala is proof that the stock market isn't just a man's playground. It's where sharp women can hold billions at stake and win. And now, get ready, because sitting at number 1 is the steel matriarch, whose fortune towers over them all. Finally, at number 1, we arrive at Savitri Jindal, the steel matriarch whose fortune is so massive it dwarfs entire national economies. With a net worth of over $30 billion, she isn't just India's richest woman, she's one of the wealthiest women on the planet. Her story could have ended in the shadows after the death of her husband, industrialist O.P. Jindal, in 2005. Instead, Savitri stepped into the spotlight and transformed grief into power. She took control of the sprawling Jindal Group, an industrial empire that spans steel, power, cement, and infrastructure, and kept it expanding on a global scale. Every bridge built, every skyscraper rising, every factory powered, it all has the Jindal stamp somewhere on it. But Savitri's empire doesn't stop at business. She's also a political force, having served as a cabinet minister in Haryana's government. That rare combination of corporate might and political influence makes her a double threat in a country where both spheres define power. Her lifestyle is exactly what you'd expect at this level. Sprawling mansions in Delhi's exclusive Lutyens zone, private jets on standby, fleets of luxury cars, and an empire worth more than some nation's GDP. Yet despite unimaginable wealth, those who know her often describe her as grounded, carrying herself with the humility of her small-town roots. Now, if you think these are the only women who are topping bars and dominating, check out our other videos and find out what other women have been up to. You'll be shocked at what you'll discover.